Hello everybody, thank you for joining me on my latest little video. We're going to do some more of the Beetle Dave's Beatles shout outs to start with. Bear with 1 second. Like that. Okay, you'll have to excuse me because I've got my glasses on and I will be reading these. So the first Beetle Dave's twist and shout out this week goes to Twist, and the shout out goes to Bob JPGR, John Paul George Ringo. I think he's come to me through Rachel's Ghost, I think, so you're getting 2 shout outs for the price of 1 on this. Great little channel. I have watched a few of his videos, very entertaining. At the minute he's on 302 subscribers and he's got around 49 videos. So if you've never heard of this channel, so that's Bob JPGR, Bob and then John Paul George Ringo, but it is as JPGR. Check him out, you won't be disappointed. Second twist and shout out goes to the Vinyl Vault. Now some of you might remember the Vinyl Vault. About November time last year he gifted me some, well, basically a whole Beatles collection, and there's some really interesting things in that. His subscriptions have started to go up quite a bit now. At the present, well, while we are recording this, he's on just over 1,000 subscribers. Should be on a hell of a lot more, to be honest. And he's got roughly 204 videos. He's sort of like goes to car boots, record fairs, things like that, and shows him like looking for records, basically. He did have some really good finds last year. Found Led Zeppelin, Beatles, Rolling Stones, Kinks, you name it, he found it. The next one, number 3, goes to, now this is a channel that I have only recently discovered, and I think, if I remember rightly, Rachel's Ghost did some sort of thing on this one, but I could be wrong. And it's Rediscovering the Beatles. Again, a brilliant channel. I've only sort of like been watching this one for about the past month. He's on 302 subscribers at the minute, same as Bob JPGR, and he's got roughly 49 videos. Fantastic video, very entertaining, very knowledgeable. So that is 3 sorts of people that are subscribed to me. I've asked for a twist and shout out. So Beetle Dave, you know, is happy to oblige. Now the 4th Beetle Dave twist and shout out actually goes to a company that run record fairs. Excuse me. And it's AA Record Fair. So if you live in the East Midlands, you might have even heard of this company. They do records all around, basically the East Midlands. They do Derby, they do Chesterfield, they do Lincoln, they do one in Leicester, I think. I think they even go up as far as Sheffield. Excuse me 1 sec. Just need a quick drink. And this coming Saturday, the 24th of February, if you live in the East Midlands and you're anywhere near Nottingham whatsoever, check this new fair out. It's the first one they've ever done in Nottingham, and it's at the Saltbox Cafe, and that is next to the Nottingham Motorpoint Arena. I'm reading these notes, so if I keep putting my head down. And like I say, it's the first one they've ever done. I think it's open from 10 till 3. Now, hopefully, all being well, fingers crossed and all that, like me and Sue, I'll actually attend this record fair. We're not standing or anything, I'm just going to go and have a look. And hopefully, I might be able to do a bit of videoing while I'm there. Andy and Adrian, hence AA Record Fairs. Like I say, this is the first one that they've done in Nottingham. Apparently there's going to be, you can get a drink there if you want to drink, you can get something to eat if you want something to eat. There's going to be a DJ on as well. Excuse me 1 second, very sorry. It's better. So let's go and support them. Like I say, if you live anywhere near there and you haven't got anything to do Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning, let's support this new record fair in Nottingham. I know there did used to be one in Nottingham many years ago, and I think it was run by VIP record fairs, and it used to be near the university or something. And then years before that, the Nottingham Record Fair always used to be in the George Hotel. So I'm really looking forward to going to this one, hopefully, if we can make it. If I do get there, by the way, and you're there and you see me, just come and say hello. You know, me and Susie don't bite, honestly. You know, it's just nice to put faces to people that comment on the videos and things like that. Some other news. So that's the twist and shouts done. So I can take my granddad glasses off now because that's better. The other reason for doing this video is because I've got this new contraption thing that my phone is connected to at the minute. And it's on a little tripod, but you can also pick it up. So you can go, I can do a room tour now like that, look. You can see all my rubbish and everything in my room now, look. See all my hi-fi set up behind me. You can see all my Beatles stuff up there. It's good, isn't it? Got a microphone on it as well. Don't know if that's working or not. But the idea of this is if I go to like the record fair on Saturday, I can use this and go around the record fair as well. Like that. Right, some other news is Yoko Ono, John Lennon's widow, was 91. I think it was last week. 91 years old. I'm not being horrible, I think, but she's not in very good health at the minute, is she? So let's just, you know, pray that she, you know, lives to see a few more birthdays, whether you like her or not. John loved her. That's all that matters. Another little bit of news, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is we've just reached 8,000 subscribers. We're just over at the minute. And it only seems like a couple of weeks ago, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we hit 7,000. So you lot out there are doing me really, really proud. And to be honest, you deserve this. So everybody that has subscribed to my channel, you're going to get your own Beatle Dave or Beatle Dave's twist and shout out. That's to everybody that supports my channel, leaves likes, is subscribed and comments. So all you lot out there have now had a personal sort of like one, although it's a group one. Right, so the other bit of today's little video is I was thinking the other day, I'll try and get this as quick as I can. I'll try and do it in less than 20 minutes, honestly. I am a second generation Beatles fan. Although I was alive when the Beatles were still a functioning group, I can't ever remember them like that. You know, I mean, I was like 3.5 when they split up, so, you know, when I was at school, we sort of like used to sing Yellow Submarine. I knew Imagine because it was on the radio, and I knew Hey Jude, and that was about it, to be honest. And then once John Lennon died, that got, you know, I realised that all those 3 songs were all connected, and that got me into being a Beatles fan, and then into a Beatles fanatic, and then in another way got me into doing things like this, YouTube channels and YouTube videos, and sharing some of my knowledge and passion of the Beatles with you lot out there. Now, I was watching a video the other day, and somebody said, well, what happens when people like me, you know, of a certain age, first generation and second generation Beatles fans, what happens when we're not here anymore? Will people still want the Beatles on records? I don't know. Will they still want to read books on the Beatles? I don't know. Will they still want to watch DVDs and videos of the Beatles? Well, probably not videos, because nobody watches videos now, do they? But you know what I'm saying? The physical media, is that still going to be there or not? And the simple answer to that is, I honestly don't know. Now, you think 20 odd years ago, the late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of people had massive record collections, and because CDs were coming in and were supposed to be the new way forward, a lot of people got rid of their record collections, didn't they? Including me. I did to a certain extent, don't get me wrong. And you know, I've had to rebuild my record collection back up. Now, to me, no matter what happens, why I'm still living and breathing, and I've got a little bit of money to buy records, I will still collect records, I will still listen to records, I will still read books. Yes, I know it's old fashioned reading books because there's nothing in a book really that you can't get off the internet and things like that. All my records, I've got thousands, and I do mean thousands. I think the last time I counted my records, bearing in mind I've chucked a few now and sent some to charity shops, but I bought a hell of a lot more. I think I'd got nearly 5 or 6 thousand LPs. Yeah, I don't play all of them all the time. Don't get me wrong. I think I've got the best part of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I've probably got best part of 1,400 Beatles albums. That's Beatles and solo and releases on Apple and things like that as well. Don't get me wrong, which is a hell of a lot, isn't it? That is a hell of a lot of records to have. Then I've got things like Buddy Holly, the Kinks, the Small Faces, the Who, even stuff like David Bowie, Elvis Presley, punk. I've got a hell of a lot of vinyl, and as far as I'm concerned, touch wood, I will never ever get rid of it. Now, when I'm gone, who's going to want this? Is anybody going to want my record collection? Again, I don't know. I can leave it to Susie Sue. Is she ever going to play it? Don't know. I could leave it to my kids, things like that. But is it going to be worth anything? To me, my record collection is priceless. Yes, I've got records that I've paid a lot of money for, and then I've got some records that I didn't pay hardly anything for. I'll give you an example. I've got a couple of the Move LPs, original first pressings from the 60s, UK pressings, and I think on average I paid something like between £15 and £20 each for them, and they can go for £100 plus. All right. So in one way, is it an investment? Again, I don't know. All my LPs and singles and CDs you can get on one of these, can't you? A mobile phone. You can, on certain streaming devices, you can fit everything I've got in my room onto one of these. Is that the way forward? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I'm questioning myself even as I'm doing this. The thing is, I like to be able to. I like this physical media. If I've paid for something, I want to be able to see it, touch it, listen to it, and things like that. Yeah, I know to a certain extent with streaming, yes, you've paid for it and you can still listen to it, but you never own it, do you? Really? I mean, I own all my records. Excuse me. If you're spending money, and let's be right, as collectors, we are idiots in some ways, aren't we? I mean, we do spend a lot of money on records, and some of them we don't really need, and others of them we've got to have no matter what, especially with the Beatles. And I was looking at some of the stuff that's coming out for Record Store Day, and yeah, I'd like the John Lennon 12-inch 4-track EP, but nowhere around where I live, i.e. Derby, are doing Record Day Store Day, or Record Store Day. I don't know why, because if I was going to get it, I would like to help one of my local record shops. But I think the thing is, because they pay a certain amount of money for them, they don't make as much. I mean, I know my local record shop in Derby, he does sell new records now, and I think he makes about £2 or £3 on each one he sells, which is nothing to what he can get for selling second-hand records, is it? He makes more profit off the second-hand ones than he does off the new ones. But that's going off the topic slightly, isn't it? But it's like, do we need all these super deluxe box sets that the Beatles are, or have been, releasing over the past few years? The collectors in us say yeah, and the fans in us will say yeah, but if you put your serious head on, do you really need them? You know what I'm saying? It's I'm not questioning what I'm doing or what you lot out there are doing, but some people could look at as record collectors and just think, well, all that money you spent on your record collection, you could have bought a brand new car, or perhaps not quite a brand new car, but you know what I'm saying. But to us out there, we need the records, don't we? We need them, whether we do really or not. We need them in our head. We need them. You know, I'm looking now, and you know, when I did the tag for Rachel's Ghost, and I counted out how many White Albums I had, and I think it was 32. Since then I've recounted, and I've actually got more than that. I've got something like 38 White Albums, and that's not including the ones that are on CD. That are just physical LP records. Yeah. You know, it's like the Red and the Blue album that came out at Christmas. Now, I was sceptical about buying them. I'm glad I've got them. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad I've got them. But did I really need them? Well, apart from them being slightly remixed, then probably not. But am I glad that I've got them? Yeah. You see, I'm even starting to doubt myself now. I know there's people out there that collect the Paul McCartney archive series and things like that. To be honest, I've never bothered with that. Not because I'm not interested in it. I am interested in it, but I didn't really discover that until I was watching Beatles Turns Beatles channel probably about 18 months ago, and he was showing some, and I was thinking, well, I've never seen them. But I did go through a phase where I didn't really go to many physical record shops. I was buying most of my stuff offline. You try and buy them now, and for the money that they're going for, would I want to get into buying them? Unless there was really, really cheap, probably not, to be honest. That is no disrespect to anybody that has them. We've all got our own little quirks, our own little things that we like. I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 copies of John and Yoko's wedding album. 5 copies. One is an original UK pressing from 1969, and I've got 2 copies from Japan from the 1970s, and then I've got 2 of the ones that was released in 2019, and one of those is still sealed. Now, do I need 4 copies of them? Of course I don't. Of course I don't. In reality, I don't even need 1 copy of that album, do I? But that album has always had a fascination to me. I don't know why. I think it was one of the first sort of like box sets that I ever saw in a second-hand record shop when I first started getting into the Beatles. And I always thought to myself, one day I would like that. And last year I did manage to get the original one. The ones from Japan sound fantastic, and the reissue sounds fantastic as well. So do I need 5 copies of them? No. The Beatles from Liverpool, the 8 LP box set, I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 copies of that now. Do I need 4 copies? Of course I don't. But the collector in me goes, yes, Dave, you do, because they're all slightly different. You know, do I need mono and stereo versions of the 1960s Beatles LPs? Well, on that one, I would say, yeah, because they are slightly different versions of the songs and slightly different mixes, isn't there, between the stereo and the mono. And up to probably Sergeant Pepper, the monos actually, in my opinion, did sound a hell of a lot better than the stereos. Do I need all the Beatles solo stuff? No, I don't. I've got most of it, don't get me wrong, but you know, some of these things Ringo's bringing out, these EPs and things like that, I must admit I do not physically own any of Ringo's recent EPs. I've got them on Spotify, don't get me wrong, so it's not like I don't know what they sound like, but I just think, you know, this might be a bit controversial when I say this, but I think he would have been better just making those LPs into 2 single albums, and they probably would have sold a bit more, because they're not cheap, are they? They're not cheap. You know, then there's, you know, I could talk for ages. Then there's, do I need my Beatles memorabilia? My sensible head says no, not really, but then the collector in me goes, yeah, because it's part of your Beatles collection, isn't it? You know, it's just things like that. It's just so. I was watching a video and somebody said something. It just made me think, what is going to happen to my collection? You know, God forbid, when I'm not here. And don't forget, you know, when people like me aren't here anymore, that is like a story ends, doesn't it, sort of thing? Because a lot of the people that got into the Beatles after people like me, 3rd and 4th generation Beatles, yeah, their collections are probably mainly CD. And like some of their memories obviously don't go back as far as my memory, and my memory doesn't go back as far as people who, you know, saw the Beatles live in the Cavern Club and things like that. You know, it's like when I go, that book's finished, isn't it, sort of thing. And it just makes me wonder what happens to everything in my music room. I'm hoping, God forbid, I'm hoping that Sue will keep it and she'll go through it, and anything that she doesn't want, she will get an expert to just come and value it. And that is the best thing, because after all, as all you Beatles collectors and record collectors know, we've never spent more than about £20 on a record, have we? Well, that's what we tell our missus and partners, isn't it? You know, oh, it's only £20, maybe it's cost you 50 or 60 quid. And you justify it, don't you, by saying, yeah, but it could be worth up to whatever. You know, I do know I've got records in there that are worth hundreds of pounds. But are they always going to be worth hundreds of pounds? You know, see what I'm getting at? Is a reissue, a limited reissue, worth more than an original LP? So I've got you thinking now. So that's going to be it. I did say try and do it under 20 minutes. We're on 21 minutes at the minute, so I think it's time to wrap this little video up. Oh, excuse me, I've got a wind bubble. I do apologise. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this little impromptu video, which mainly just to try out this new tripod thing. Look, oh yeah. All through the day, I'm in mine, I'm in mine, I'm in mine. Oh, doesn't that look weird? Whee! Hey, twist and shout outs to everyone. I will grow up and act my age one day. Well, maybe, I don't know. So I hope you've enjoyed it. What are your thoughts on your collection? You know, are you going to carry on collecting till whenever? Or will one day you just going to say, that's it, I'm not buying any more records ever again? Which I seem to say at the end of every month, and then I see something, I think, oh yeah, I could do with that one. You know, it's each to their own, isn't it? Is it any worse than people that collect stamps, or collect paintings, or collect rare books, or collect cars, or collect motorbikes, or like going on holidays and things like that? You know, this is my little shrine in here. You know, I could be having the crappiest day ever, and I can come in my music room, put on a record, and for while that record is playing, all my troubles go away. When I switch the record off, obviously those troubles are still there, but it's like a release, isn't it? I don't smoke, you know, or anything like that. Yes, I do occasionally drink, you know, probably a bit more than what I should do, well, on the weekends off and things like that. But you know, I've got a roof over my head, I've got a loving wife, I've got my record collection, I've got my 2 cats, I've got my dog, I've got my kids and my grandkids and things like that. You know, but I would be lost without my record collection. I think that's what I'm trying to get to at the end of the day. I would be lost without my record collection. Even if I had everything I'd got on CD, or I've got it all on my phone, I would still be lost. It's not the same as having it, you know, holding something in your hand, is it? And with vinyl records, as I said before, especially vintage British records from the 50s and 60s, there's a certain smell to them as well. Anyway, thank you to everybody for putting up with me mumbling on about a load of crap again. You might have learnt something, I don't know. If you've got a decent, well, if you collect records, which most of you do, I mean, most people that watch this do like the Beatles, so they'll have Beatles records. What do you think's going to happen to your collection? Will there come, you know, are you thinking, oh, when you hit a certain age, you're going to sell it off, and then maybe the money that you get for it, if you've got a lot of money, is that going to like top up your pension or something like that? That was the original idea of me, in one way, getting back into records, was because I justified it by like saying to myself, well, it doesn't matter how many copies of something you've got, or, you know, up to a certain extent what you pay for it, because it's still going to be worth something at the end of the day. And it will be worth something. Whether it's worth what I've paid for it over the years, I don't know. See, Beatles stuff's very hit and miss, isn't it? Unless it's mint, you know, it's on eBay, people saying, oh, I've got an original 1963 please me stereo edition on 2 box EMI. but it's not original, is it? It's a reissue. Oh, I ain't want £300 for it. We've all seen it, haven't we, folks? We've all seen it. Anyway, peace and love and happiness to you all. Once again, thank you to everybody that is subscribing. And if you're not subscribed, I know you've got to keep telling me off for this. If you're not subscribed, just think about subscribing. It's free, and you know that helps YouTube to promote this channel a bit further. And anything that helps the channel is worth considering doing if you haven't already done it. If you've already subscribed but you've liked this video, leave me a thumbs up. That's all I ask. Even if you haven't liked this video and you think it's the worst video I've ever done, Dave, that's 25 minutes of my life I will never get back, still leave me a thumbs up. That's all I ask. So until the next time, don't forget, if you are anywhere near Nottingham on Saturday and you manage to get to this record fair at the Saltbox Cafe, which is near the Nottingham Motorpoint Arena, which is the ice stadium basically, isn't it, I think. Just come in and say hello, and if you see me, just say hello, and that's it. So until the next time, it's peace, love and happiness to all. Remember, you are the Beetle Dave, and I'll catch you all very, very soon. Thank you everybody for subscribing and champion and supporting my little channel. Till the next time, love and peace.